My child, stay with me for just a moment. Before you move on, before you return to everything waiting for you, I want you to hear what I am saying to your heart right now. You did not come across these words for no reason. I know you have been carrying something quietly. You have smiled when you wanted to cry. You have said, "I'm okay," when deep inside you were asking me, "How much longer?" I have heard that question. I have seen the nights when your thoughts would not become quiet. I have seen you staring into the darkness, wondering whether tomorrow would finally bring the answer you have been waiting for. And my child, I want you to know this before anything else. I have not forgotten you. You may have felt forgotten. You may have wondered why I have not answered in the way you expected. You may have looked at other people and wondered why their lives seem to be moving forward while yours feels like it is standing still. But what you cannot see is what I have been doing behind the scenes. You thought the silence meant I was absent. It did not. You thought the delay meant I had said no. It did not. You thought the closed door meant your story was ending. My child, it may have been the very door I was closing because I knew what was waiting for you on the other side. So please, do not leave yet. Let your heart become still. Put down the weight you have been carrying, even if only for these next few moments. You do not have to understand everything right now. You do not have to know how everything will work out. You do not have to have the perfect words when you come before me. Just listen, because there is something I want you to understand about this season of your life. You have been asking me, "Lord, why is this taking so long?" And I have heard you. You have asked, "When will something finally change?" I have heard you. You have whispered, "God, are you still with me?" My child, I have been closer than you realize. I was with you when you felt strong. I was with you when you felt completely broken. I was with you when you celebrated. I was with you when you cried where nobody could see you. I was with you when you made mistakes. I was with you when you tried again. And I am with you now. Do not confuse my silence with my absence. Sometimes I am working in places you cannot yet see. Sometimes I am preparing something that cannot be rushed. Sometimes I allow you to wait, because the person you are becoming must be ready for what you have been asking me to bring into your life. You keep asking me to change your circumstances, but sometimes, my child, I am changing you before I change what surrounds you. I am teaching you patience without making you passive. I am teaching you faith without giving you every answer. I am teaching you peace without removing every storm. And I am teaching you to trust me, even when your eyes cannot yet see what your heart has been praying for. You have survived days you once believed would destroy you. Look at yourself. You are still here. That is not because you were strong enough by yourself. There were moments when you thought you had reached the end of your strength, and yet somehow you kept going. You thought you were walking alone. You were not. I carried you through moments you do not even remember. I protected you from things you never knew were coming. I closed paths you would have followed if I had allowed them to remain open. And I redirected you when you thought you were being delayed. My child, stop calling every delay a rejection. Stop calling every closed door a punishment. Stop assuming that because you cannot see movement, nothing is happening. Roots grow in darkness before anyone sees the tree. Seeds disappear beneath the soil before they become something beautiful. And there are things growing in your life right now that you cannot yet see. So breathe. Slow down. You do not need to solve your entire future tonight. You only need to trust me with the next step. I know what you need. I know what you have been praying about. I know the name you have not said aloud. I know the situation that keeps returning to your mind. I know the decision you are afraid to make. I know the dream you are afraid to hope for again because disappointment has taught you to protect your heart. But I am asking you not to let yesterday decide what you believe about tomorrow. Your past may explain some of your wounds, but it does not have authority over your future. What happened to you is not the final sentence of your story. The chapter you are living through right now is not the whole book. My child, I am still writing. And what looks unfinished to you is not unfinished to me. There is still purpose ahead. There is still growth ahead. There is still peace ahead. There are still moments you have not experienced, prayers you have not yet seen answered, doors you have not yet walked through, and blessings you have not yet recognized. So do not give up, because today looks different from what you imagined. You asked me for a sign that I am still near. Let this be your reminder. I never left. When you could not feel me, I was there. When you could not understand me, I was there. When you questioned me, I was there. When you ran from me, I was still there. My love for you has never depended on your ability to understand everything I am doing. You are not required to see the entire road. You are only asked to trust the one who already knows where it leads. And my child, I know the road. I know where I am taking you. I know what I am protecting you from. I know what I am preparing you for. I know what you have lost. I know what you are still grieving. And I know what must be restored inside your heart before you can fully receive what comes next. So tonight, stop fighting yourself. Stop replaying every mistake. Stop punishing yourself for what you did not know then. You made choices with the understanding you had at that time. You are growing. You are learning. You are becoming wiser. Come back to me. Not because you have everything together. Come because you don't. Not because you are strong. Come because you are tired. Not because you have all the answers. Come because you have questions. I do not need a perfect version of you. I want the honest version of you. The tired you, the confused you, the hopeful you, the frightened you. The version of you that still believes, even after everything. Bring that person to me, and let me remind you who you are. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not too late. You are not beyond redemption. You are not disqualified because you stumbled. You are my beloved child. And I am not finished with you. So stay with me a little longer. There is something deeper I want to place in your heart. Because the thing you have been waiting for may not begin with a change around you. It may begin with a change within you. And once you understand what I am about to tell you, you may finally understand why I allowed you to walk through this season the way you did. My child, listen closely. The waiting was not wasted. My child, the waiting was not wasted. I know there were moments when you thought nothing was happening. You prayed, but you saw no answer. You believed, but circumstances remained the same. You waited, but the door did not open. And slowly, you began to wonder whether your prayers were reaching me at all. But hear me now. Your prayers were never lost. Not one tear was wasted. Not one whispered prayer disappeared into the silence. Not one night when you cried yourself to sleep went unnoticed. I saw it. I heard it. I remembered it. You were looking at the calendar. I was looking at your heart. You were watching the clock. I was preparing the moment. You were asking, when? I was preparing you for why. There are things you asked me for that I did not give you immediately. Not because I did not love you, but because I loved you enough to know what you could not see. You thought you were ready. I knew what still needed to grow inside you. You wanted the blessing. I wanted to prepare you to carry it. You wanted the open door. I wanted to teach you discernment before you walked through it. You wanted the answer. I wanted to strengthen your faith so that the answer would not become your new master. My child, sometimes the greatest thing I do for you is not giving you what you asked for immediately. Sometimes my greatest protection looks like a delay. Sometimes my not yet is a shield. Sometimes the door you are desperately trying to open is the very door I am protecting you from. And I know that is difficult to understand when your heart is tired. But one day, you may look back and thank me for the things I did not allow. You may thank me for the relationship that ended. You may thank me for the opportunity that disappeared. You may thank me for the plan that failed. You may thank me for the season that forced you to slow down, because what felt like loss was sometimes my protection wearing a disguise. My child, you have been measuring my goodness by what you can see. But I am asking you to trust me beyond what your eyes can see. If you could see everything I see, you would understand why I asked you to wait. You would understand why certain people had to leave. You would understand why certain opportunities did not work. You would understand why some prayers required more time. You would understand why I kept saying, "Stay close to me." Because I was not simply preparing an answer. I was preparing you. And now something inside you has changed. You are not the same person who entered this season. The pain taught you compassion. The disappointment taught you discernment. The waiting taught you patience. The uncertainty taught you dependence on me. The moments when you had nothing left taught you that I could still be enough. Do you see it now? The season you wanted to escape was shaping the person you needed to become. My beloved child, I know you are still carrying questions. So let me answer the deepest one. You have wondered, will my life always feel like this? No. You have wondered, will I always be this tired? No. You have wondered, will I always feel this uncertain? No. You have wondered, will I ever experience peace again? Yes. But I want you to understand something. Peace does not always arrive because every problem disappears. Sometimes peace arrives while the problem is still there. Sometimes I change the storm. Sometimes I strengthen you inside the storm. And sometimes I teach you that you can walk through the storm without losing yourself. My child, I am bringing you into a deeper kind of trust. A trust that does not depend on perfect circumstances. A faith that does not collapse when the answer takes longer than expected. A peace that does not disappear every time life becomes difficult. You have spent too long believing that you must understand everything before you can trust me. You don't. You only need to know who is holding you. And I am holding you. Even now. When your future feels uncertain, I am there. When your finances feel uncertain, I am there. When your relationships feel uncertain, I am there. When your next step feels unclear, I am there. You are not walking into tomorrow alone. My child, I want you to release something tonight. Release the need to control the timing. Release the pressure to make everything happen immediately. Release the fear that if you do not force the door open, you will miss your opportunity. You will not miss what I have truly prepared for you by trusting me. You do not have to chase every door. You do not have to convince every person. You do not have to force every opportunity. You do not have to prove your worth. What is meant for you does not require you to destroy your peace to obtain it. Let me lead you. Let me close what needs to close. Let me open what needs to open. Let me redirect you when you are heading somewhere I know will hurt you. And when I ask you to wait, wait with me, not with fear. There is a difference between waiting anxiously and waiting faithfully. Anxious waiting says, what if nothing happens? Faithful waiting says, even if I cannot see it, God is still working. Choose the second. Choose trust. Choose peace. Choose me. My child, I want you to remember something when this message ends. Do not return to your worries carrying the same heart you brought here. You came here wondering whether I remembered you. Leave knowing that I did. You came here wondering whether your prayers mattered. Leave knowing that they do. You came here wondering whether your story was over. Leave knowing that it is not. You came here tired. Leave with hope. You came here uncertain. Leave with trust. You came here carrying questions. Leave them in my hands. And if this message touched something deep inside you, do not simply listen and move on. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Take a slow breath and say from your heart, Lord, I trust you even when I cannot see. You do not have to say it perfectly. Just mean it. And if you believe those words, write ITRUSTYOULORD in the comments. Not because writing a comment earns a blessing. Not because a certain number guarantees a miracle. Write it as your personal declaration. Let those words remind you of what you chose in this moment. And if you know someone who is quietly struggling with the same kind of waiting, share this message with them. You may never know how much they needed to hear. You are not forgotten. And if this channel has encouraged your faith, subscribe and stay connected for more messages centered on hope, prayer, faith, and the love of God. But more than anything, my child, do not let this become just another video you watched. Carry this truth with you. God has not forgotten you. The waiting does not mean you have been rejected. The silence does not mean you have been abandoned. The delay does not mean your story is over. Sometimes the waiting is where faith becomes stronger. Sometimes the silence is where you learn to listen. Sometimes the closed door is where protection begins. And sometimes the season that hurts the most is the season that prepares you for the life you prayed for. So keep walking. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep your heart soft. Do not give up simply because you cannot see the outcome yet. My child, I am not asking you to understand the entire journey. I am asking you to take the next step with me. Tomorrow does not belong to you yet, but this moment does. And right now, you can choose peace. Right now, you can choose trust. Right now, you can place your future back into my hands. So rest tonight. You have carried enough. You have worried enough. You have tried to figure everything out enough. Let me be God. Let me lead. Let me work. And you? Breathe. Pray. Trust. Keep going. Because what you thought was the end may only have been the place where I began something new. My beloved child, the chapter is not finished. There is more ahead. And when the time is right, you will understand why I asked you to wait. Until then, remember this. I am with you in the waiting. I am with you in the rebuilding. I am with you in the rebuilding. And I will be with you when you finally see what I was preparing all along. Do not lose hope. Your story is still unfolding, and I am still here.